I'd like to call to order the Tuesday, January the 10th, 2012 City Commission meeting. And if you will all rise, I will do the invocation, and Commissioner Morrow will do our pledge to the flag. Please bow your heads. Father, we are here today to ask for your blessing and guidance in the performance of our duties as elected officials. We pray for strength, love, knowledge, and understanding. Help us to recognize and solve the problems that are presented. Make our solutions fair and just to the best interest of everyone. Help us to overcome our shortcomings and keep us united as a team to work for the betterment of the city and its people. We pray in your name. Amen.
Please join me in the salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Tonight, our first order of business is to elect a new chairperson for calendar year 2012. Before we do that, I want to say what a pleasure and what an honor it has been to serve as the chairperson for 2011. I have been able to represent our board and our city in times of great sorrow when we've had a hero to come home who was sent to Afghanistan or to Iraq. I've had the opportunity to help celebrate celebrations like the Southside Reunion, and I've had many honors. I got to ride with the Housing and Urban Development Director when he came to survey the scene when we had the tornado to hit us. I hope that I have always served you all to your satisfaction. I strove to do that and to always represent you in the manner that Griffin should be represented. And I thank you for that opportunity. Having said that, do we have any nominations for the chairperson for calendar year 2012?
Madam Chair, I would nominate Doug Holberg.
Right.
Madam Chair, I would nominate Cynthia Ward.
All right. Do we have any other nominations?
Even though he nominated, I'll, out of respect for a rotation that shows these positions as equal, I'll ask her here if he has any interest in a nomination for this. And I assume no, because he nominated Cynthia, but I do want to throw that out there.
Okay. Are there any other nominations?
Make a motion to close nominations.
All right. We have a motion to close nominations. Second. All right, we have a nomination for Mr. Holberg for chair. All those in favor of Mr. Holberg, please raise your right hand. Okay, those are 3 votes. For Cynthia Reed Ward, would those who are voting for her please raise their right hand? Okay, Cynthia Reed Ward has won it by a vote of 4-3. And I will now turn my seat over to her. That's all right.
I think I grabbed some of your stuff up.
That's all right. I got it.
The next order of business is to appoint the vice chair for calendar year 2012, and that appointment is to be made by the chairperson. And my appointment for that position will be Commissioner Todd, if she's willing to accept it.
Yes, thank you for being able to continue serving in some areas that I've served for the last 2 years.
Thank you. We'll move on to presentations and delegations. The next order of business is to recognize Chairperson Joanne Todd for her service as mayor of the city of Griffin for calendar year 2011. Do you have a... This plaque is presented to Commissioner Todd in appreciation for your service to the City of Griffin Board of Commissioners, serving as chairperson 2002, 2005, and 2011. And I would like to say it was a pleasure to serve under you as chairperson last year. I know that you went above and beyond what the chairperson does. I was honored that you represented our city as chairperson last year, and glad to work with you again this year.
Thank you. Thank you. Did you get it? Okay. Thank you. This is nice.
It is. Next, recognize Jennifer McClure of the Police Department as December 2011 Strongest Link Award recipient. Chief Strickland will address.
It's my honor and pleasure to introduce you to Jennifer McClure. She works in the Criminal Investigation Division as a crime scene investigator, and she was nominated for the Strongest Link in the Chain Award for her extracurricular and voluntary work with the Police Explorers. She has about 20 kids that she deals with on a, I guess, weekly basis at this point. She put a float in the Christmas parade this year. She helped about, 18 needy families during Christmas with the Police Explorers. 42 kids. And she puts a lot of time and a lot of hours, and she doesn't ask for anything back, and she's turned that into a really good program, and they've done a lot of good work, and the Police Explorers are getting a lot of knowledge about law enforcement. And I'm really excited about the fact that she won the award. I'm going to wear this for a minute. Working comp covers her back. Added stress.
Jennifer?
I just want to say, really, this should go to my 20 kids who I didn't get to bring, but we have kids that range from public schools to private schools, from every background that you can imagine. And I just lost one. He had to move to Savannah. So they are like my kids. They are time-consuming, but very rewarding. So I would also like to thank Chief Strickland for allowing me the opportunity to work with such great kids. And anyone who needs any help around the house, we do community service projects, please keep us in mind. They're very excited. And we will be going to, Southern Crescent has donated their new house for us to go through and do SWAT training next month. So pray for me, because I am not SWAT material. So I hope I survive. I barely
Don't tell the
survived.
kids that.
I was their defensive tactics dummy last week, and I still have bruises, so we're not going to do that class again. But they are a great group of kids, so if you see them out, please introduce yourself. They're a wonderful group. They will question you to death about what you do, but that is how we learn. So I have told them that if you meet someone who is employed in any position that you have questions about, feel free, especially if they're public service, ask questions. That's the only way you'll learn. So if you do get hammered with questions upon meeting some of my explorers, I apologize in advance, but they will question you. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, I would like to give Commissioner Hallberg the opportunity to
Thank you. There are three young men that are in the back here. If they could rise: Chandler Willis, Marsh Holberg, and Bowden Smith. They're here observing government in action. They're working on their communication merit badge. So they just survived 4 days prior to New Year's at summer camp or winter camp, and so they're here with their uniforms. Proud to be here. So good to have you guys here. Thank you. Thank you.
thank y'all for coming. We'll move into our to review our financials for November 2011.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Commissioners.
Good evening.
All right, first item on the list will be the balance sheet for the cash accounts, rather. And there's not much to speak of. The balances are holding their own, which ties back to the way we're handling the fiscal operations. If anybody has any questions regarding the cash balances, I'd be happy to entertain them. moving on. Just want to touch base real quick on the investment portfolio with Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. This portfolio is managed by Sean Kane, and our cemetery trust fund is clicking along pretty nicely. It's $1,143,000 at this point, and we've taken some gains over the last couple months with some of the investment activity that we've transacted over the past year. So roughly, where's my number? A lot of pages here. But anyway, we've brought in about $500,000 or so. $203,000 is what we've brought into that portfolio. Not to mention the positive cash flow that's generated as a result from all the investments. Okay, moving on into the lost and splost sheet. The local option sales tax and special purpose. Again, we're clicking away here at $1,145,000 for the year, roughly 43% of budget, and we're still projecting a slight excess there for the year. And our special purpose local option sales tax also on track. I presented to you today, just before you sat down, a list of projects tied to the SPLOST account. It's just a summary of all the different projects that we have listed and the progress that we've made thus far, or incurred thus far. Any questions so far? Okay, having none, we'll move on. Financial statements, the interim statements by fund, all funds citywide. Tax revenues will be coming in. We have another check that came in this month and another one that'll come in January. And then that'll push us close to 90% where I expect us to be on the property tax. Overall, the revenues are on par, as are expenses being controlled. Any questions?
It's pretty clean and straightforward. There's nobody that's off track that I could see.
No. Not as of yet. We've had no emergencies thus far. Any other questions? Good job. Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Marcus.
At this time, we'll move into citizen comments. The chairperson opened the floor to comments from the audience. Comments should relate to a specific agenda item not listed on the agenda for public hearing, or to a concern within the jurisdiction of the city. Commission meetings serve the purpose of conducting city business and are not a forum for the unlimited expression of opinions. The chairperson reserves the right to limit comments to matters germane to city business and may refer speakers to the city manager or other staff for resolution. Is there anyone to my left that would like to come forward and address the board? Is there anybody to the right that would like to come forward and address the board? We'll move on to public hearings. Being none, we'll move to the consent agenda.
Madam Chair, unless others have corrections, I move we approve the minutes of both the regular scheduled meeting and the workshop of December 13th.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. All in favor of approving it, raise your right hand. All opposed? Okay, 7-0. Okay, we're moving to our regular agenda. Consider the purchase of 4 new Dodge Charger police package cars from Aikens Ford Dodge Jeep Chrysler government sales for the price of $23,591.81. Total of $94,367.24. Equipment for the units from Transcom for the price of $4,924. Total of $19,700. $696. Total cost for the 4 vehicles equipped is $114,063.24.
Madam Chair, I move we approve the purchase of the state contract.
I second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
Please note that it did come in almost $6,000 under what was budgeted.
Okay. All in favor, let it be known by show of hands. 7-0. Okay, consider approval of consider approval of employment contract between the Board of Commissioners and the City Manager.
Make a motion to approve the contract.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, let it be known by show of hands. Thank you, 7-0. Okay, approve resolution making appointments for the office of judge of the municipal court and approving compensation for said position.
Madam Chair, I understand we have 2 contestants for this, 2 possible judges. Is that from what I read here on the paper? Do you want the nominations of the 2, or how do you want to handle it?
I'd like to nominate Judge Cook, municipal court judge.
Madam Chair, I will nominate William Johnson for municipal court judge.
Okay.
Make a motion to close nominations.
We have a motion to close nomination. All in favor, let me know by show of hands. Okay, we'll take them one at a time. We'll go with Judge Cook was first. All in favor of Judge Cook, let it be known by show of hands. All in favor of Bill Johnson. Okay, that's 4 for Mr. Johnson. The next item is for the municipal clerk for the approving compensation said position.
Chair, I move we approve it as presented.
I have a motion and second. All in, who was that? Is that Yolanda? The municipal court.
I'm sorry, we missed one.
Returner.
No,
Okay.
I apologize. I'll retract since we skipped number 10 here.
Okay.
To appoint municipal court solicitor.
Okay. Who did I say? The clerk. Okay. All in favor of Mr. Turner as municipal court solicitor, let it be known by show of hands. 7-0. Approve resolution making appointment for the municipal court clerk.
Now, I'll go back to that we move and approve Yolanda as specified here.
Okay, all in favor, let it be known by show of hands. 7-0. Approve resolution making appointment for the office of municipal registrar and approving compensation for said position.
I nominate Judy Floor Lawrence.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, let it be known by show of hands. 7-0. Approve resolution making appointment for office of city attorney and approving compensation for said position.
We only have one nominee here.
Make a motion to approve Drew Allen.
Long-term one. I will second that.
Motion and a second. All in favor, let it be known by show of hands. 7-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
14, appoint 2 members to the Griffin Spalding Hospital Authority.
Madam Chairman, I'd like to nominate Cal Oxford.
I make a motion to close nominations.
No,
I'm sorry.
We have to have 2.
Yeah.
And
City Commission.
the other is, there's just one, it says.
Just one.
The other is the board appointment.
Board appointment.
Yeah,
Hold on for a minute. Well, there was another,
that was she here.
yeah, and since she did put an application in, I'll nominate her.
I'll move to close nominations on citizen appointees.
Have a nomination, motion to close nominations. All in favor, let me know by show of hands.
Yeah.
7-0. The first one was Cal Oxford. All in favor? And Teresa? So 6-1. 6.
No, I was
Oh,
Cal.
it was Cal.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Okay, the next one is, the second one for the hospital authority was 2. We had 2 members for the hospital authority. The other one was board appointment.
The commission appoints.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
You do that, Madam Chair, or do we nominate Shahir?
You would continue serving?
Shahir, you've been on it, haven't you?
Yeah.
Would you like to stay on it?
I would rather pick somebody else.
Oh, okay.
Hold on for a minute. Is there anyone that would like to serve?
I won't mind serving.
Okay.
So I make a,
Well,
Is that a vote?
says
We have,
appointed annually by commission.
he's the only
Ryan,
nominee.
Okay.
all in favor of Ryan, let me know by show of hands. 7-0.
Very good.
Oh, sorry, okay. The next one is, for Griffin Salt and Development Authority.
And it says,
And we have, three citizen appointments, two citizen appointments. The appointment that, Mr. Alton Knight has been serving in, and the one for, Chuck Copeland that comes available this time. And I think those were,
I'd like to make a motion or nominate Alton Knight to fill Alton Knight's position and Chuck Copeland to fill Chuck Copeland's position.
And I'll make the nominations for Joanne Finnesy to fill her position. I think that's our turn to do that.
Okay.
So we'll
And-
get all three of them in one bill.
and we have a fourth in the book, I believe, Robert Parker.
That's true, yes.
Then I'll nominate Robert Parker
Which position?
for the joint appointment position.
okay, so we'll go ahead and vote on the, first two
Right.
first.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor of, allowing Mr. Knight and Chuck Copeland to continue in those positions, let it be known by show of hands. Okay, next one was, what was his?
The rotating position is between, Joanne Finnesy and Robert L. Parker.
Okay, all in favor of, Joanne Finnesy in that position, that rotating position, let it be known by show of hands. Okay, and Mr. Parker? 3, it was 4-3, Joanne Finnesy serving that position. Okay, appoint 3 members to the Housing Authority.
Okay, I nominate Harvey Copeland.
Madam, excuse me just 1 minute. We need a chairman designee for the Development Authority.
Okay,
Oh.
sorry. Chairman designee, would you like to continue serving in that position?
If it was leisure, I would.
Okay, all right. Okay.
All right, then we're back to the Housing Authority.
Housing Authority.
Madam Chair, I nominate Harvey Pilkington to replace Harvey Pilkington.
Okay,
I'll nominate Lisa Fambro to replace Lisa Fambro.
okay.
And do you want to continue serving in that capacity?
And I'd
Yeah.
like to nominate Commissioner Ward for the appointment as a commission representative.
Okay, so,
Make a motion to close nominations.
all in favor, let it be known by show of hands. All in favor of those 3 people continuing, let it be known by show of
It's a
hands.
whole lot easier that way.
Okay, so that's 7-0. Okay, appoint 2 members to the Airport Advisory Board.
Madam Chairman, I'd like to nominate Brett Laventer to fulfill Brett Laventer's seat.
I second, well, we don't second that, we don't have to second that.
And then we need a commission appointee.
I nominate Commissioner Morrow, fill Commissioner Morrow's seat.
All right, zoom.
Okay,
We have to do that.
Make a motion to close nominations.
all in favor of closing nomination, let it be known by show of hands. All in favor of those 2, Brett Lavender and Commissioner Morrow continuing, let it be known by show of hands. 7-0. Okay, the, Griffin Salt and Area Transportation Committee.
Madam Chairman, I'd like to nominate Michelle Cannon to fill Michelle Cannon's spot and Neil Bonds to fill Neil Bonds' spot.
Are there any others in the book?
No,
Would you,
Doug, you got their permission before you
Yes,
put them in there?
would y'all like to continue to serve on?
It'd be mine.
I'd be happy to,
Okay.
yes.
So that's Commissioner Morrow and Commissioner Holberg and, Neil Bonds and Michelle Cannon.
To close nominations.
And
Go ahead.
I second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, let me know by show of hands. All in favor of letting, Commissioner Morrow, Commissioner Holberg, Neil Bonds, and Michelle Cannon continue to serve, let it be known by show of hands. 7-0. Appoint one member to the Board of Health.
Just for the formality, you might want to approve the ex officio members to the Transportation Committee as well.
Oh, that's true. Kenny?
Okay.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Then I nominate James Clinkscales and Dwayne Jones to continue as the two ex officio members. I guess that's who the chief wants.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, okay, I second, well, we don't second that.
Make a motion to close the nomination.
All
All
right,
in
second
favor,
that.
all in favor of closing nomination, let me know by show of hands. All in favor of, allowing Mr. Clinkscale and Dwayne Jones to continue, serving, let me know by show of hands. 7-0. Shahir, are you not, is that sure?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay. Okay, appoint one member to the Board of Health. Is that, okay. Shahir has said, Commissioner Bayer has said that he will be interested in serving that position. Are you still interested in serving it?
Yes, that's the one I turned down, yes.
Okay. All right. Well, my appointment will be Commissioner Bayer. Appoint 7 members to keep Griffin Spalding Beautiful Incorporated.
Excuse me, we're going to vote on that one, I believe.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm wrong.
It's the commission chair who
Yeah,
does
you're right,
it.
I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Well, I'm gonna miss that, Shahir. Won't you know that?
Appoint 7 members to keep Griffin Spalding Beautiful Incorporated.
How many of these folks have agreed to continue serving?
3 of them that are in the book. I'd like to nominate Johnny Stevens, Dee Barthouse, DeWitt,
It's Bartachevich.
Bartachevich,
Yeah, I think he wants you to learn, do it in, whatever.
and then Dr. Jerry Spoon.
That's the only 3 we have?
Yes, that's all.
Well,
We'll have to work on some of
Did-
these others. I
did
know
you-
Ms.
did you
McMichael has
officially
had
nominate him?
problems.
I did officially nominate him based on the letter that.
then I move that nominations cease if there are no further nominations.
We have a motion and a second to close nominations. Where was that? Jerry Spoon and who was it, Doug?
Dee Bartachevich,
Jenny Stevens.
Johnny.
Johnny Stevens.
Johnny Stevens.
Okay. We have those 3. Do we still need to make other appointments?
We need to find some
We
more
need 4
folks.
more.
Okay, so all in favor of the ones that have been nominated, serving, let me know by show of hands. 7-0. I appoint 1 member to the Workforce Investment Council.
Madam Chair, for some reason, I seem to always have to be the one that, goes to the Workforce Investment Council. Actually, it's a very good appointment, but it does meet at 10:30 in the morning.
What day of the week?
Usually Tuesday, the day that we have a commission meeting, but we're usually on the day that we have the workshop. I have discussed this with them. I know that Will was the appointed person last year, and I ended up making all those appointments. I'm willing to continue doing that, since I seem to know everybody there, and they're expecting me back. So,
I don't have a problem with anybody else.
Mm-mm.
Okay, all right. We
I
need to
will
vote.
take that, yes.
Appoint 1 member. Okay, was that a chairman appointment or?
No, I think that's, it is chairperson or designee, yeah.
Okay, all right.
So that you
Commissioner
have to-
Todd, okay.
Right.
1 member to the Griffin Downtown Council. Shahir, would you like to continue to serve on that?
Yes, Madam Chair, as a matter of fact, Karen and I, been working on some things, so I really would like to continue on that.
Okay. Is this an appointment by the chair?
City Commission Chairman or Chairman Designate,
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
yeah.
Appoint 1 member to the Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors.
And that's the commission, the chairperson or her designee or his designee.
And Doug, you've been serving on it?
I did this past year, but I would rather pass to someone else.
Okay.
If one of them want to do it,
You're
they're welcome,
on the
or I'll be
board,
happy to do it too.
Okay, and you're already on the board, I believe, as
Okay.
head of governmental affairs.
Yes.
Okay, Commissioner Morrow has volunteered to do it.
We know that they'll go there.
Appoint 1 member to the Griffin Spalding E911 Board.
This board has never met that I know of.
Boy, did you want that board?
David, met since the last time you were on the
I
board.
know, and it's never met then. But just for the sake of someone being on there, you're more than welcome to
I
put me
think
on
we
there.
need to,
Very good.
I think we need to pay you extra for not meeting.
For all the extra hard work that I'm going to have to do.
Right.
Well, when I was a county commissioner 4 years, it never met either, so.
Yeah.
I never
know why we
went
still have
to
it.
one
Make a
meeting.
motion to disband that board.
I think so, honestly, I think we
By law, you
should.
may have to have it since it's a joint.
Hey, is that
It's an as-needed basis, so,
Yeah.
deal with that in 489 negotiations.
okay.
All right.
Okay. Appoint 3 members to the Planning and Zoning Board.
Right, I am in District 4, I talked with David Brock, and he would like to continue in this appointment, and I believe that's for 3 years now, we don't have to constantly go back, since he fulfilled an unexpired term previously.
David Rock.
Yes, David Brock, and he has agreed.
And I'm going to reappoint Jim Hill, if he'd like to continue serving
And I'm
District 5.
reappoint Neil Baldwin as the city at large for your term.
Okay. We have the 3 nominations for those 3 districts. All in favor, let it be known by show. We don't have to do that. We don't have to do that, okay. All right. So, appoint 3 members to the Historic Preservation Commission. I'm sorry, the Tree Board. 10 members to the Tree Board. You got 10 members, Doug?
I'd like to nominate Jamie Arrington to serve as the arborist, or continue serving as arborist, and John Stover as continue serving as the landscape architect.
I have left a message, and Hannah Day has not declined to serve, so I would like to appoint Hannah Day for District 4.
All right, just a minute. We need to
vote.
approve these first 2 before we do our post-appointments.
Yeah.
Those are count.
Okay. We have a nomination for Jamie Arrington as arborist.
I move that we close the nominations for those 2 positions, Jamie and
Okay.
John.
All in favor of closing nomination, let it be known by show of hands. Okay. All in favor of Jamie Arrington and John Stover as landscape architect, let it be known by show of hands. 7-0.
Okay,
And they do each district appointee.
now the district appointment.
Okay.
Who's one?
Ann Larson. 2. Do you have one, Cora?
Yeah, Russell McNally.
Russell McNally.
Russell McDowell, okay.
All right. Okay.
3,
Jan Smith, continue.
4,
Hannah Day.
5,
Jim Berry, Audubon Circle. I didn't hear 2. Did you reappoint Roger?
No, Russ McDowell.
Russ McNally.
Oh, okay, I wrote it wrong line there, got it.
Okay, yours, 5 was
Jim Berry.
Jim Berry. 6,
And Milner.
Ann Milner. Okay, and at large?
Ann Walker.
Okay, and the city commissioner?
Yeah, I'll be happy to do it.
Okay.
Tree Man Ryan?
Huh?
Is that what you call it, Tree Man Ryan?
Yeah, that
Hey, that
love you,
used to
Ryan.
be, Mr. Morris' name tag.
was that what it was?
Okay,
I'd like to make a motion.
It wasn't that, it was something else.
I'd like to nominate Ryan McLemore for the city commission position on the tree board.
Doug, do you appoint two people?
no.
No, sir, the first 2 are folks that had to be nominated.
Arborist and
Arborist and
landscape.
landscape architect.
He just appointed his at large.
Well, who did one?
Me,
Just one.
Okay.
myself.
And that's Ann Larson to continue. you
Mhm.
said. Yeah, I wrote the wrong line here.
Okay. So, what
Okay.
do we need to vote
Motion to
on?
nominate Ryan McLemore as the commissioner appointee to the tree board.
I don't see anybody else jumping for it, so I move nominations closed.
Second.
All in favor of Ryan McLemore serving as city commissioner designate,
Tree man.
let it be known by show of hands.
The trees are looking great, too.
7-0.
Yeah.
Okay, 3 members to the Historic Preservation Commission. Is that where we are?
I spoke to all
Yeah, that's what we
3 of
have.
these individuals, and Doug Krebs and Jim Ogletree desire to continue serving, so I'd like to nominate Doug Krebs and Jim Ogletree.
And what about Diane?
Diane.
She's not at this time, she'd
So
like
we
to
need
decline.
somebody else.
We need to find someone else.
All right.
have a
Why
number.
don't we table that until next time, and maybe all of us can.
Well, let's,
I've got someone that I'd like to ask to serve, so I've got to ask them.
well, can we approve the two that have been nominated and leave the
Yeah.
one open?
I don't
Okay,
think
I
we
move
do
we
that.
close nominations for those two positions.
Okay. All in favor of closing nomination, let me know by show of hands. 7-0. Okay, all in favor of Doug Krebs and Jim Ogletree continue to serve, let me know by show of hands. 7-0.
All right,
And
so
and I move that we table the third appointment
Oh,
to that
wait.
until our next meeting.
we don't appoint somebody, it's automatically tabled, so,
Okay.
all right.
Okay.
I would assume it is, yeah. I didn't know, since we're standing on protocol here.
Okay. Appoint 4 members to the Main Street Advisory Board. Go ahead, I'm sorry. The
I'd
city. Go ahead.
I'd like to nominate Amanda Youngblood for the neighborhood, for the business property owner that's coming up to replace herself. I'd like to nominate Garrett Massey to replace Bill Jones Jr., who has resigned, and John Carlisle to replace Jessica Watley, position who resigned.
Who was the first one you?
The current person is Amanda Youngblood,
To reserve.
to continue serving in that capacity.
Well, that's a middle name, too?
It's a nickname.
Amanda Amy
Amy
Youngblood.
Okay.
Anybody else want to serve?
And then we had 2 to resign, and
So Garrett Massey for the term that expires 12/31/13, and John Carlisle for the term that expires 12/31/12.
is there any reason why one, they expired differently?
They
Staggered
staggered
terms.
terms.
Bill Jones resigned, so.
Right, I understand that, and I understand that Jessica did as well.
Okay.
He's working too hard.
Okay. Anybody else want to serve in any of those, or should we close?
I think we should close.
I move we close nominations for those 3.
I second that.
Motion and second to close nominations. Jessica Watley, she's on there now, right?
She's resigned.
No, she resigned.
Okay, and we replaced her. You're not made another nomination. Okay. The nominees were Amy Youngblood, John Carlisle, and Garrett Massey. All in favor of allowing them to serve in these positions, let me know by show of hands. Is that a, okay, 7-0.
And are you going to continue there, Cynthia?
Unless somebody else wants it.
Yeah, you're the
Okay,
chairperson.
I'll do it. I had told them I would. Okay, that's the Main Street. Is that everything?
That's it.
Okay, now, we only tabled one? Well, really table
One
anything.
person, yeah,
And we also need some, keep Griffin's Falling Beautiful.
right, we need
Okay,
4 more
okay.
of those.
Okay, now we'll move into the city manager's report.
Okay, we have a parade coming up on Monday, so I need to know how many people are going to take a chance on us having golf carts where they're supposed to be, and functional, and returning them. Because the staff has
You're
sworn to
really
me
asking for a lot
that
of
we will.
faith and
No,
support.
we're gonna have golf carts coordinated this time. This will be the first time in my 8-year history.
What time is
The
the parade?
parade's at 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock?
3 o'clock.
I'll be there.
That's a holiday as well, isn't it? Will the city be off?
Yes, ma'am, and city offices will be closed on Monday.
Golf cart.
So I need, how many golf carts?
I'll be going, so.
Yeah, I have another,
1, 2, 3, 4?
Yeah.
4 golf carts. All right, I will get you detailed instructions on how to proceed with the golf cart.
Didn't we have that last time?
Probably. Never seems to fall into place.
And candy,
Ma'am?
and candy.
And, oh, yes, ma'am, we'll have candy available. This Friday, our staff will be behind closed doors in our staff workshop, our annual workshop. So from 8 until on this Friday, we'll be looking at our staff goals and wanted to ask this board if they had any wishes to plan a goals workshop for you as well, and if so, what date would you like to shoot for?
Soon?
February, that first regular meeting, February, that we do?
That would be the 4th, that's Valentine's Day. Yeah.
Calendar.
be too close right after GMA.
When do we have a-
Thursday.
What would happen if we left it off to the first meeting in March? Is that too late?
Wouldn't bother me.
What's the second meeting in March and February?
That's
28th.
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 And that's usually when we have a workshop anyway. Why can't we
doing
just
the
do
28th.
both?
28th. What else is happening on the 28th? The meeting, regular meeting?
The what?
Well, they're talking second. I guess that'd work. 28th. I just want you to know that if you hold it off to the second meeting in February, I will no longer come here as a young man. I'll be 70.
You think you'll be able to make it?
I don't know.
February 28th, is that?
You want us to do it the day before then? The day before you turn 70?
People will refer to you as elderly.
28th would be great.
February 28th, is that what,
That's your
is that
birthday?
what we're shooting for?
All right.
Okay, the 28th.
Or February?
We'll have to have
February 28th.
Okay, anything else?
Okay, and GMA's coming up, so make sure you got all your paperwork. Got a note today that they'll be mailing your name badges and all your tickets and all that stuff. I'm not sure if they'll come here. I assume they'll come here or to your home address or whatever. But we'll make sure we have all that in order. And of course, the MEAG dinner is that Sunday night, so we'll need to RSVP for that to know how many. And if you can let me know that within the next day or so, we'll get those RSVPs out for you.
For those of you going to GMA and attending the committee meetings, I can tell you up close and personal with the Transportation Committee meeting, it's going to be awesome.
You know, I may have to come to Atlanta just to see if it is awesome.
No doubt in my mind.
Okay, that's all I have, Madam Chairman.
Okay, thank you. City Attorney?
No comments.
Okay. Commissioner Bell?
Yeah, I just want to congratulate, our city manager, Mr. Smith, and also, city attorney. I'd like to congratulate him.
Are you granddad?
We're still here.
Not yet.
Commissioner Morrow?
No, I don't think so.
Commissioner Hobart?
I got kind of ambushed by the grip about an issue, and so I'm now called Commissioner Droopy Drawers. And we've talked about possibly pushing an ordinance or convincing the General Assembly to pass legislation that would allow us to pass an ordinance. So I'd like for this board to consider us coming together on that issue and making that happen this legislative session, if that's the desire of this board.
What is it? Pass on the ground?
Pants on the ground. So,
You're going to ask the legislators to introduce
well, we could
statewide
maybe
vision?
get Drew to draft up something that we would need to present them that would give us permission or the blessing.
So why don't we outlaw nose rings, nipple rings, tattoos, hair curlers, spandex?
You don't want to outlaw spandex.
Well, the problem is you've got a general law, general statute, which defines the misdemeanor offense of indecent exposure. And that really addresses this baggy pants nomenclature, I guess, is almost a subset of indecent exposure. If you drop them low enough, they become indecent, but if you don't drop them beyond the definitive line, they're not. And I think therein lies the problem. I don't know if the General Assembly would entertain it. You certainly couldn't, I would raise this with, starting with your local delegation, any other member of the General Assembly that you know, to see if they have any thoughts on this. But if you take a state law change, it's not just a local act, you take a general.
I'd like for this board, though, to go on record as stating we were for or against it. If it's
Well,
just a one
actually, I
person
think
versus-
that we would like to, why don't we institute an ordinance? At the very worst, someone can challenge it, and it would be on the books until that particular time. And then our city, then perhaps we could ask for forgiveness or whatever if we got sued. But I think that several other jurisdictions have put this on their books, and to my knowledge, they have not been challenged on it. Now, I think a law is good until it's been challenged, right?
Well,
And been
there is a
successfully
presumption of
challenged.
validity that an ordinance, as long as it's reasonable, is presumed to be valid.
Right.
What is the law per se that What is,
It's indecent. Right now, he's saying that the state law is one that, of indecent exposure.
well, what is it that Doug wants specifically when you're saying for the local, for us to go on record or saying what exactly?
I'd like for us to pass an ordinance that basically says you wear your pants on your hips, and if you don't, it gives.
And then who enforces it? Are you saying you want it to be enforced?
Enforced by our local jurisdiction.
Our police don't have enough to do, so.
I think there's a lot of gray area about
Correct. And
where
that's
your
why
hips are. I mean, you know, you're gonna stop somebody because it's an inch below their natural waistline or because it's 3 inches below. I think there's a lot of gray area about how you gonna stop somebody because one person's hip is not the same location as the other person.
We've had several folks that have brought it to our attention, and it keeps coming up, so
Well,
I'd like.
I'm going to weigh in on that because, yes, it's disgusting in my opinion. I don't think anybody questions that. But this country is based on the freedom to be stupid if you want to. If you want to be disgusting, as long as they're not indecent. I find a lot of other behaviors equally disgusting, but so be it. So I'd never vote for that sort of thing.
May I make a prediction too? I think that will only last another 5 years. And you can go on record and go to YouTube and bag it up and play it again.
It's a 5 year. I remember when we danced to Elvis, we were indecent exposing its time. So the twist was indecent at one time, so.
It keeps coming up, so I just want us either.
Well, yeah,
we either make a decision on it, or we say we're not gonna do anything on it and just let it go. So that's kind of my request. And maybe we just need to wait till our workshop and talk about it then.
Well, you know, when it comes up to you and it comes up to me, but we've got 24,000 people in the city of Griffin, and probably less than 5 people have mentioned it to me, Doug.
Right.
And so I'm not sure that you write a law or try to write a law that, because 5 people have been offended by something. And like Mr. Morris said, I was filling my tank with gas the other day, and this overweight young woman came in with a tube top, and my mercy, if anybody was indecent, she was. And so, you know, and I got to thinking, man, I've got to sit here and watch her till she finishes filling her gas tank because she was ahead of me. And I got to thinking about baggy pants, and I thought, my heavens, I would have loved for her to have had on a pair of baggy pants.
I understand.
So, you know, what can
I'm
you
good
say?
either way. If the board wants to pursue it, I'm there to support it. If they don't, then I'll just say the board has decided that they do not want to pursue this issue.
Okay,
A
thank you, Doug.
couple other things I wanted to reflect on Ms. Todd's tenure as chairman. She probably did not get enough credit in regards to her work with the transportation.
Agreed.
And it's
That was good work.
and just wanted to thank her. She picked it up from Cynthia last year, and without Joanne being there fighting for the city of Griffin and Spalding County, we may not have gotten the projects depending on what happens with the T-Splosh. Also want to welcome Cora on board. Glad to have your smiling face back up.
Oh.
Look forward to working with you. And Ms. Cynthia, congratulations. Look forward to working with you this new year.
Thank you. Commissioner McLemore.
Follow up with Doug, I just wanted to thank Ms. Todd for a good year. It was a good year. You did, I thought, an excellent job, especially with a lot of people that came in and dialogued with the board, and you represented us well in a lot of ways that people don't see. So thank you for that service, and congratulations, Ms. Ward, on being nominated, or for being our new chair, and look forward to another good year.
Thank you. Commissioner Flowers.
I'm glad to be back, and I just look forward to working with everyone this year. Hopefully we'll have a great year.
Commissioner Todd.
History has been made in Griffin in the last 2 nights, and I dare say in the state of Georgia, you have no community that has 2 sisters serving as your chairpersons of the community. Cora's mother and Cynthia's sister was elected chairman of the Spalding County Commission last night, and Cynthia was elected tonight. I think that that's quite an honor for our city and for our county, and I think that there's nowhere in Georgia that can compare to the fact that we have such strong family ties to government. And as I told Ms. Ward, Gary Reed was very active when I was working for Congressman Newt Gingrich, and it was such a delight working with Gary. And Gary was a strong believer that people should serve, and that every district in this community should be represented. And And I think that this is one of the exciting times in our community. And like I say, I dare say, there's not another community in Georgia where they have two sisters leading your governments, your sister governments, and a niece serving on the city commission. With that, congratulations.
Thank you. I don't know how many of you remember my uncle and my father. And I'm really honored to be able to serve as chairperson at this time. And I'm kind of touched because my uncle and my dad started out with the civil rights movement when they were in the service back in the 50s. And I think other than Drew, my family is probably historically the oldest family that has of government that on this board. All of my family, from my grandmother back, were, which was over 100 years ago, from Griffin and Spalding County. So we have a lot of historical ties here to Griffin. My uncle and my dad were twin brothers, and they both loved the city of Griffin. And they worked really, really hard for minorities, for women, equal rights, and in the civil rights movement. And right now, they probably have them dancing around. So, and I'm really tickled. You know, this is really, I remember once we had a dialogue, and I think one of the questions asked was like, what would you like for your legacy to be, or what would you like for folks to remember? But I think what has happened here with myself and my sister Gwen is that these were visions, if anybody, y'all understand about visions, that my grandmother had, that came through my father and my uncle and the other family members, because all of my family members are from Griffin. And most of them are gone now. But like I said, I know my uncle and my dad are dancing around in heaven because they didn't live to see it, but this is the fruits of their labor. And for that, I'm really happy for them. But and I'm honored to serve. I also would like to, again, acknowledge what a great job Commissioner Todd did last year. And my feeling about city government and commission board is that we all share equal positions. Basically, the only thing that I'll be doing different than anybody else is chairing the meetings. But I feel like we all have an equal share. I don't have any more right to do anything by myself than anybody else does. And I look forward to working with everyone on the board. I look forward to all of us having an equal input into what happens. So, with that being said.
Nicely said.
Yes.
Make a motion to adjourn.
And I second.
All right.